What is up, my little YouTubies? Apple iPad Procreate 5 drawing here. Clip Clown just saying hello. Wanted to give you this time lapse. We're starting off with the sketch and getting it done. The idea here was to have the hobgoblin or some sort of figure, kind of inspired 3/4 view profile picture. Working out the line drawing here with just a pencil, I believe. The flow is down on a low setting, so really rough, kind of sketching. Trying to indicate some idea of like the hair, but I figured I wanted to have him with a cloak or a hood on. So we're still working out that kind of idea of how the drawing is going to start and begin. So we took some time with that and we were having issues, so we decided to do some color blocking. And what that helps is kind of set your values and anchor them in so you can have an idea of where everything is going to be placed. And that will help you set your lines in a bit more definitely. So now we have a sharper line drawing going in. This is number 1 of this one. Again, there was a lot to work out. It is a pretty detailed drawing and a lot going on, so you have a lot of playing with the perspective here of the tongue coming out, and that's set behind into the mouth with the cloak coming in between that. So trying to give the viewer the idea of that space was a little bit hard. So we decided to really spend a lot of time on the line drawing and locking it in. So this is when we did the second one now. So we're working with a bolder outline and again that thinner line to indicate detail. These are the horns going in. It's cool to make horns coming out of a figure, but you don't want the typical smooth type of horn. So again, to play with that texture and to indicate the difference between all the areas, what I wanted to do was give those ridges a nice texture on each of the horns. So here we have the hair going in a little bit slower speed just to show you, and that's pretty easy. I could have done some sort of brush technique or something like that, but I like to do it the hard way. It just helps as far as the individual strokes don't look as repetitive, and that's one thing that digital art can have a hindrance in doing in your drawings is as you making the stroke, each one looks the same, so it doesn't give your drawing that cool kind of organic look that some of the natural pencil drawings will have. So it's cool to do it the hard way and take a bit more time with that and not really try and take the easy route. So I mean, here we are putting the glasses in. Sunglasses are a pain in the butt, especially when you're doing a 3/4 perspective from a bottom view. So getting all the different ridges and trying to work that out. We spent a couple times drawing those actually too, I think 3 to get those right. So we gave up there and decided to focus on doing the color flats at that point. After all, the sunglasses are going to be a detail, so don't have to focus on that right now. So we're blocking in the values for the cloak now. Again, doing the shadows first, then going on to a mid-tone, and then working on a highlight. If you are going to go back to pump up your values, I would say you can go from a mid-tone to a shadow and then back to a shadow again. And that really helps because you push the saturation of your drawing. And at the beginning when I started drawing, I definitely had a problem with really laying in a value for the shadow and going as dark as it possibly can. So I was always apprehensive, which really lacked the contrast in the finished product. And so if you don't push your shadow and really get that black in and or at least understand where it's going to be, it really doesn't help your drawing. So as you can see here on the skin, I started off with that really slate gray dark color, and that is a pretty dark color for a shadow. So as we pumped up to a lighter grayish blue, that's kind of our mid-tone. So the idea here is the light source is coming up from beneath and illuminating the face. And so we have a lower light coming through. So now we're going to focus on that part. There's a change here, and as you can see, the drawing really starts coming to life. And that's because we went from a light bluish gray to an actual green. So what you see working here that is lending the drawing a lot of interest is the chroma. So chroma in your color is the intensity, or when you look at the color, how bright, quote unquote, it appears. So a little bit of color theory here. So when you have the bright chroma, green has a really bright chroma compared to blue. And blue is a little bit more subdued and has a darker value. Well, green, if you looked at a green in a black and white color, it would actually have a lighter value. So you have to think about color, but you also want to think about where it sits on the value scale. Here we are working on harmonization and trying to get everything to look as one. So we're pulling a lot of the shadows and purples and blues from the hair into the face, and we're getting everything down in that sense. So now we're starting to do the fun part, details. So details are really what you want to save to the very, very end. It's fun to try and add those in and really start doing the highlight portion of everything and all the textures. But the sooner you do that to your drawing, the sooner you close that window of playing with the values and how far you can go. So right now we're painting the teeth gold, which is really fun. So using a darker yellowish brown, what we do is focus on the value system first, then going closer from a yellowish, darker yellow brown to a white, and then from white to black to a yellow. So also what helps is adding a little bit of green to gold, and that really is what makes everything pop, is when you do a soft hue of green over everything. So that was a bit of the sunglass action. Now we're going into the highlights and the horns. So as you can see, the drawing is pretty put together at this point. We're really just fine-tuning everything. And I want to point out, though, I mean, look at that shadow right there for that horn. That's what's up. So that's what happens when you just follow the rules. And by the rules, I mean understanding where your light source comes from, where you want everything to be as far as following your line drawing, understanding the folds and why you have that black line there in the first place. And you got to understand you're indicating a language to people's eyes, essentially what we're talking about. So when people look at it, they want to understand, why is it black there? Why is it white there? Why is it bright green? So yeah, I mean, just have fun and stick to the rules, understand why you're making the mark you're making, and everything can turn out pretty cool. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want that design, it's on threadless.com. We'd appreciate you copping a sweater or a shirt or something. We're trying to pump that, get some art out there, but there's other designs as well. Check out my other videos. We got a lot of different time-lapse drawings going up now, and we appreciate your support. So do that thing, press that button. That's what's up. Peace out, people. You.